Urinary tract infections are extremely common. Around 1 in 2 women and 1 in 20 men will get a UTI in their lifetime. Plus, once you've had one UT challenge, you're way more susceptible to another in the future. That's why you just need Just Thrive's UT123. This product can actually prevent UTIs while maintaining your urinary tract health. UT123 targets both immediate and long-term relief. We've all heard to drink cranberry juice for your urinary tract, but did you know that for the full effects, you need the whole cranberry? Not just juice, but the skin, flesh, and even the seeds. Well, UT123 uses superior ingredients that utilizes the whole fruit. This supplement truly is the full package. So if you're someone who struggles with the constant urge to urinate, a burning feeling when you pee, pelvic pain, or just want to be proactive in your urinary health, Just Thrive is for you. Just Thrive is so confident you'll love their product that there is a 100% money-back guarantee on every purchase made through justthrivehealth.com. And for a limited time, you can save 20% off site-wide at justthrivehealth.com with promo code SEXWithEmily. That's justthrivehealth.com and use code SEXWithEmily for 20% off your order. You're going to love it. Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think.
Into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Check everything out at sexwithemily.com. And I'm here with the White Menace.
Hello, how you doing
How you
today?
doing, honey?
I'm good.
We also have a special guest. We're going to get into her whole story in a minute. We've got Maggie Mayhem. She just came from a porn set. She was not directing or producing. You were in it, right?
That's right. Today I was doing some star work.
She was starring in a porn like 5 minutes ago.
Really?
So we're going to get into her whole story. And she is a BDSM model, sex-positive activist, and she's on the cutting edge of kink. I'd like to say that you are. Is that a true statement?
I don't know if I'm on the cutting edge of kink.
I feel like you are.
I think I'm on the cutting edge of queer.
Cutting edge of queer. Okay. Perfect. We'll get into it in a minute.
I have a question. I just want to ask her right off the bat.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I can handle it.
What?
Because before the show started, you said you went to Santa Cruz?
I was a student at UC Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you become a lesbian?
Oh God, no! I was so up in that way before I went to college.
Because every girl that I know went there, I'll say 90% of them became lesbians after going. Nothing against Santa Cruz, and I support lesbians. I love them. They love what I love.
I was part of the recruitment process, actually.
Okay,
no,
cool.
I was one of those people who was a seed planted inside, a sleeper cell, a lesbian sleeper cell, and I would wait for the freshmen to come in. And I made that change happen.
Okay, good. So you're the one that's flipping them all.
She single-handedly is responsible for all your friends becoming lesbian.
What year did you go? Because you probably made my friend lesbian.
I was there from 2003 to 2007.
Do you know somebody named Wendy?
Oh, stop. You don't want to out your friend. Oh, my God, Menace. Let's not play. Let's not play Santa Cruz geography. Let's not play lesbian geography right now.
You'll tell me.
Okay.
Anyways.
Good.
So what the hell's been going on with you,
Dude,
Emily?
what the hell? Things are crazy. It's hump day.
I know.
Hope everyone gets humped today. And I'm trying to think what's going on.
No, okay. I'll tell you what's going on
We got to
right
talk
now.
about it.
Okay.
Bring it up.
There is a commercial that just started running yesterday, and it's all over Bravo. It's promoting the show that you're starring in, Misadvised. And people have been tweeting me, texting me, posting on my Facebook that you and I are making out in this promo commercial. Yep. And it's embarrassing.
Tell me about it. Not only is it embarrassing, what you don't see, and we should probably wait for people to see it. But
Don't give.
I'm not going to give you the background. But let me tell you what you do see is that Menace wipes his mouth in disgust and then tells me that I'm a bad kisser.
You were laughing so hard about that too.
You're like, that wasn't good. F you.
I was like wiping my face like a little baby, like, oh, that's not good.
You're like, that was really bad. And then I'm like, but there's more to the story, so you must stay tuned on June 18th to see it all.
Okay.
10 o'clock on Bravo.
All right.
Very exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
And today we have to give a big shout out to Good Vibrations. They are our sponsor. Use coupon code GVEmily15 for 15% off anything from Good Vibes. And let me just tell you, they've got everything that you need and want. If you've never bought a sex toy before, what's your favorite sex toy, Maggie? I know it's probably hard to choose, but
it's the Hitachi Magic Wand.
Right, the Hitachi Magic Wand. We're all together on that. Mm-hmm. So go buy a Hitachi Magic Wand for you or your partner or both of you. Use it together. It's awesome. And we can just start talking to Maggie. Is there anything else, Menace, that is going on in your world?
Nothing. We mentioned the show just to make sure. Set your DVR for Bravo, June 18th, 10 p.m.
10 p.m. It's going to be running for 8 weeks. Misadvised. And you can also go to Sex with Emily. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Sex with Emily.
Yeah, and if you're going to tweet and say you're excited for the show, make sure you use hashtag misadvised.
Hashtag misadvised.
Yes.
We got it. Okay. Maggie, tell me about yourself, Maggie. Okay, we already know. So how do you identify?
Oh, wow. I have so many different identities. Sex hacker is probably my first big identity.
Sex hacker.
Now, I saw that on your
hacker.
Twitter. I'm like, what the hell is a sex hacker?
Well, I want you to imagine sexuality as being like a computer that you get from Best Buy. And right out the box, it's probably not going to meet all your needs. You're going to need to do a little bit of some custom work, make sure those settings are working out for the kind of computer work that you want to do.
Exactly.
So you have to do that basic prelim setup, and I think that's sexuality. But I like to go a little bit deeper. I like to get inside the computer chips. I want to get inside the coding. I love to program. I love to reprogram. I like to crack through barriers. I like to get into someone's security. I want to get in their firewall.
Oh, my God.
The whole 9 yards. I'm a sex hacker.
You're speaking Menace's language here because he speaks computers.
Yeah,
do you understand how that relates to sex? Does that make sense to you?
A little bit, yes.
So give me an example. So you're saying when you meet someone, your challenge is to get into like what makes them tick, what turns them on, what makes them hot. And like,
what kind of hard drive they need?
What kind of hard drive they need? I had to hack myself.
And hopefully it's hard.
Yeah.
Not a soft drive, right? Or a floppy disk.
I had to hack myself first. I think everything that I needed was kept behind a secure barrier, a wall. All the information that I needed, everything that I wanted to get a hold of. And so I think sex hacking started with myself.
So how did you start with yourself?
Oh, my God. I started sticking my nose where it didn't belong, probably, in terms of information and libraries and asking questions. That's really the first place. And when you're trying to get into something, you really do want to kind of find the right question and find the right way to start developing a plan or a path to get to the answers you're looking for.
Right.
So it starts there, asking way too many questions, getting into some trouble.
Of course.
Getting denied access a lot. But eventually developing a routine so I could start getting information and I could start customizing basically like my sexual software.
Okay, so how have you been customized, wired sexually? Like, okay, well, let's just say that we mentioned at the top of the hour, at the top of the show, that Maggie just came from a porn set. And she says she probably smells like a porn set. I haven't smelled anything, and it's probably delightful.
Well, it was a major squirting shoot. So not only did I get like squirt on me, I was laying down, and it was like a bucket of water kind of just being dropped from perhaps a great height.
Wow.
So I didn't just get squirted on a little bit. I got like a fee-jack shower.
Oh, my God. And this was you were with another woman who squirted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's female ejaculation.
Female ejaculation. Do you believe that any woman can learn to ejaculate?
I can't.
You
but
can't. Okay.
I sometimes I feel like I'm getting closer.
Oh, that's good. Because we've had people on the show where like every woman can ejaculate. And Menace doesn't believe in it. He thinks it's pee.
I just give it a hard time.
He thinks it's urine.
I give you a hard time about it. That's all.
When you've actually tasted it, you know that it's not.
Yeah, Menace. You just need to take a big swig of it.
Take a big swig.
Yeah.
Because it's
Shot glasses full.
It's really sweet. You'd be surprised. It's really, really, really sweet. It's a far cry. But I wouldn't say that every woman could ejaculate because not every man can ejaculate.
Right.
So I'm not going to hold one standard up to the other.
I got it. But the Hitachi Magic Wand, let me just say this, can be a nice tool to learn that.
Oh, a great tool.
Which is our favorite thing. So tell me, you were at a porn shoot today, and then what else happened? You got squirted on.
I got
Give me
squirted
some other.
on.
Can you break it down for me? Any other details?
Well, it was really fantastic. I was with Girlfriends Films, and they're doing an educational film with Madison Young. So this
Okay.
was about G-spot play and female ejaculation.
Oh, it's an educational film. Awesome. Okay.
An edgy porno. And it was
I
really
love it.
We had like a very 1950s setup, so it was very San Francisco dyke kind of thing.
Right.
And sitting down on the couch, watching some television, eating some popcorn.
Right.
Getting your hands in each other's pussies.
Right.
And
Oh my God, that sounds so fun, doesn't it, Menace?
It sounds insane.
I was tweeting this morning. Not as interesting. What was
Yeah.
I doing? I was writing blog posts.
Yeah.
And you had your fingers in pussies. I was
trying to figure out how to copy a DVD. That's all I was doing.
Oh, but you did a good job.
Thank you.
What was some of your first sexual experiences like when you were growing up? What would you say? Were they all?
I was so nerdy. I was so geeky. It's actually I think everyone I went to school with is kind of shocked that I do porn because I was the biggest dork in the classroom.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Where did you grow up?
I'm from East Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I was actually doing some tweeting and some tumbling of my high school pictures. I had an accidental mullet. I went through a year of high school.
Didn't know. No one told you.
No.
How would you know? Wow, that's great.
It never occurred to me to go to a hair salon and get a haircut. So it just kind of, I was trimming my bangs and the front of my hair and the back just kept going. And
Okay.
It happens.
Now your name is sounding so familiar to me, and I work in alternative radio, and I didn't look anything up about you. Are you the same person that was dating Dave Navarro?
no.
No. Okay. I'm totally wrong. There must be somebody that has a similar name.
Maggie Mayhem is a name that's out there. There's definitely
Okay.
the film Whip It, and that came out, and there was a Maggie Mayhem character in there.
Okay.
But I actually,
Have you
went-
dated since you work in the industry? You might be around some famous people. They like to hang out with people that work in porn.
I'm too big of a dork.
No,
I-
you're
Really?
not. Look
No
how
one hangs
adorable.
out
You
with
guys
me.
can watch this show. She's
No
adorable.
way.
Come look at the camera right now. Oh my God,
You
you're
don't
so
hang out
adorable.
with anybody?
People are really, really shocked. I think I'm one of the biggest prudes in the industry. Whenever
Oh, you're
I
too
don't.
good to hang out with people?
No,
You're a
I'm
prude?
too dorky. I
Oh.
really want to read Wikipedia entries on
So
random.
you get off by going to maybe Comic-Con or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Who are the
yeah.
people that you want to bone at Comic-Con? That's what I want to know.
Actually, I think the people I would want to bone the most don't make it out because I still have a thing for Warren Ellis.
Okay.
But Warren Ellis isn't going anywhere. Warren Ellis has a cane. He's drinking. He's back across the pond where it's rainy.
Yeah.
But I absolutely think he is so brilliant, and especially being a very big fan of Hunter S. Thompson, I love what he did with Transmetropolitan. Transmet is my favorite comic. I can't get enough of it.
See, now we know where she hangs out.
Right,
All right,
exactly.
fellas, there is a chance. If you see her,
But how did you get involved in all this? You said since you were a young age, you were like a sex hacker. You were
Yeah.
always interested in learning about it. But how did you get involved in doing porn and working? You work at kink.com too, right?
I have done some shoots at kink.com.
Okay.
Like when I say sex hacking, it started with identity. So it started to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm not heterosexual. This isn't working. Oh, wait a minute, I'm queer. Oh, wait a minute, the way we talk about sexuality has been done completely wrong. I need to disable that entire system and implement something new. And in my big process of acquiring information, I started doing HIV testing in 2003.
Okay.
So I was doing HIV testing, counseling. That means administering the test, doing a counseling session, and disclosing the results.
Wow, that's intense.
So I started from there, and it was just going to be a volunteer job. A couple years down the road, I was coordinating the entire clinic.
Oh my God.
I ran the entire testing program. I was doing the training. I was doing the back end work, just making HIV testing happening. When I finished up college, I left Santa Cruz. I came to San Francisco, and I served as the HIV senior specialist at Larkin Street Youth Services. They're a very big agency
Yes,
here in
big one.
San Fran. Oh yeah,
One of
they
the
have
biggest, yeah.
probably more than a dozen youth shelters. And I had my office at the facility for HIV positive homeless youth. That's where I worked. That's where I was like my home for years. And one day I got a call from Lokai, who is a bondage rigger. And he'd seen me out in San Francisco in the clubs because I'm kinky. I'm a sex
Yeah.
hacker, in my personal life. And he saw me hanging around in some robes and said,
All right.
hey, have you ever considered doing porn?
Wow.
And
just like that.
Like that.
Okay.
And no one ever asked me that kind of question. And
No.
I thought about it, and when I came down to my decision-making process, the only thing that was in the con list, the no list, was how much of a jerk other people can be to porn stars.
Right.
And everything in the yes was about my own desire to immortalize my youth and to document something that we don't even talk about, let alone really sit down and analyze.
Right.
So I said, you know what, I'm not going to let other people's ideas color my own adventures.
Exactly.
They're just beginning, and this is an opportunity. So I did my first porn shoot about 3 years ago.
Okay. So you're still, and what was that? What was the first porn shoot like? Was it, is it all bondage stuff? Because I want to talk to you a little about bondage.
It
so it's all
was.
bondage.
It was a
Okay.
bondage shoot. It was actually so non-traditional. I showed up, and one of the first things they said is, we have this author guy who wants to interview you because it's your first time doing porn. And I walk into the room, and this author guy was Stephen Elliott. Who is
I know Stephen, but he's been on the show before.
Yeah, Stephen is a local author here in San Francisco,
Yeah.
and I'd had his books on my shelf. So I'm completely right out the bat. I am surprised by the fact that I'm sitting down with an author I've read, that I enjoy.
My girlfriend comes to the city and beats me up.
My
This is one of his
girlfriend comes to the
books.
city,
Yeah.
The Adderall Diaries most recently.
Yeah. Oh, I want to. Yeah. I'd love
And
to.
he just released Cherry, which is filmed at the Armory, and he co-wrote that with Laura Lee.
Oh, okay.
So-
Great. I haven't talked to him in a few years, but anyway, that's cool. You got interviewed and you got tied up.
Yeah, well, and then as if that wasn't enough, I sit down with Stephen Elliott, and they're like, oh, we want to do another interview with you about being an HIV test counselor. So then I spent another, pre-porn period of time explaining how to disclose a positive test result to somebody.
God, honey, that's hard stuff. That you
well,
did, but that was your work.
That's my work. It was kind of maybe not the best timing right before a porn shoot. to be
Right. You're like,
"So this
really?
is-"
Do I need to talk work when I'm here doing this?
Yeah.
But
And then I finally got into the porn, and it was the Loci was doing the casting couch, and the theme of that porn was to be like a really sleazy 1970s producer's office, just
Right.
the bad lamp and the horrible brown leather couch that would crinkle
Right.
when you'd sit in it.
right.
And
I've been there.
oh yeah, we've all been there.
Right. Exactly.
So off came the clothes, on went the rope, and a star was born.
Oh my God. And how many porns have you done so far? Thus far.
I've been in so few films, but I've done a lot of different shoots. I actually have kind of moved away from a lot of BDSM porn, and I do predominantly queer work. I run a website with my partner now.
Okay, what's your website? Let's give a shout out to your website.
MeetTheMayhems.com.
Okay, and you spell that Mayhem? Or?
Yeah, Mayhem.
Okay.
And if you see me on Twitter, I'm on Twitter too, Ms. Maggie Mayhem. You'll find a link to that, and you'll even find a link to my partner.
Okay, and your partner, is this your partner that you're your business partner or your partner in life?
My partner in life, just every which way, living together.
Okay, man or woman?
He is a cis male.
Okay.
And right now he is off working in his underground lab. He does quantum nanoelectronics.
Okay.
And he did his undergrad at Harvard in physics, and now he's working on his PhD. And
Wow, so he's smart.
Yeah, he's
and he's into
designing
the same
the-
stuff you are sexually.
I dragged him into it.
You did?
Oh my God.
How'd you get him involved? Because so many, I think, women probably would like to make that change in their relationship. You just started talking. Well, he knew. I'm sure if he knows you and he fell in love with you, he knew that what he was getting.
We had a
and
brief
what you were into.
meeting, and then it was getting to be Christmas time, and I had to sit down with him and say, sweetie, I know that, it's such a pain to go with your partner to a holiday company Christmas party, and I would really like you to be there at mine. And, it's totally open bar,
Right.
no cash, just totally open bar. And it's
Always start with the bar.
It's a live filmed orgy. And totally open bar. And, hang out, no pressure, but, if you're dating someone in porn, you should see what a set is like.
Absolutely.
And this was an opportunity. And so he's like this geek in a corner. He ties his own bow ties.
Aw.
He doesn't use a clip-on. That's not the Harvard way.
Right.
Being really geeky in the corner and kind of like Superman, the Clark Kent effect.
I love it.
He took off his suit and, no one expected him to have muscles. He works out a lot.
Right.
No one expected him to be a total
Hottie.
speed demon. And he realized he loved making porn. And he's queer as well. So he
Okay.
shoots with men, he shoots with women, he shoots with people
Oh my
who are
God!
trans.
Not only did you get him into your sex world, but you got him into the porn business as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. Have you guys done any scenes together?
Quite a few.
Fun.
Quite a few. And
Like
now,
what kind of stuff? What's your favorite scene that you've done together?
oh my God. I think actually there was a scene we did for Queer Porn TV. And that was with Courtney Trouble and Tina Horn were directing. And that was a really fantastic shoot. It was about rough sex in couples and how to do it in a really passionate, loving way. And so we had fun. We like romped around in this great hotel room. And at the end, we realized that we needed to start being in charge of our own porn. So it's my favorite shoot because that's the day that we decided to become producers. And
Great. So you're doing it all. You're in charge of it all. I know you, but you're doing, and you're still doing porn, but it's a different kind right now, or you're.
You know, I mean, it's if I get good opportunities, I tend to be really picky, choosy with who I shoot with, and I love working with Madison Young. I love G-spot play. I love female ejaculation. So this was a project I had to say yes to.
Of course you did. Of course you had to say yes to it. I can't imagine. That sounds really fun. Now, what do you think about the whole world now being into this like 50 Shades of Grey and BDSM? Like, do you feel like you're like, I've been there, but it seems like the mommy porn book, 50 Shades of Grey, that everyone in the world is talking about. Have you read it at all?
You know, I haven't read it, but there's always a mommy porn book. I think I remember 100 Strokes of the Brush Before Midnight.
Yes, I have that one too. Right.
And that was a few years ago, and everyone was like, the 100 Strokes. So we went from 100 Strokes to 50 Shades, and it just makes me realize that I need to release like 25 flavors of perversion before noon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I should be set on in terms of the book.
Yeah, you should.
I'm just blown away by the fact that I was in the airport. I was in the Denver airport, and there was an airport bookseller that had 50 Shades of Grey, not just in the front window, but in the display, spilling out into the, pedestrian traffic area. And Brookstone was selling Lilos, with just no...
Oh my God, are you serious?
Not gratuitous.
Lilo, amazing sex toys, Lilo.
Yeah, major. And so I was like, wow, I'm so used to airports, kind of the sexuality of an airport. I always think of graying politicians.
Right.
And now I'm thinking about middle-aged women getting 50 Shades of Grey
I
and
know,
a Lilo.
I love it. I've heard about I'm going to the airport next week, but I haven't been in a while since. But everyone's talking about how the airport, how it's just everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
So what do you think it is that about the BDSM world, bondage, discipline, sadomasochism, if people don't know what that is exactly, but a lot of people listening to our show do. What do you think it is about that appeal? I know you haven't read the book, and I've actually just halfway through it, but what do you think it is that women, mommy porn, women in the Midwest, my mother's read it 3 times, or she's read all 3 novels. What do you think it is about it that is so appealing on this primal level to women?
Everything in the world is about sex, except for sex, which is about everything else. And when something like BDSM pops into the erotic consciousness of people in the country, I tend to think it's reflective of something that we need to know and understand. And in other words, it means it might be about something else. And I think we're all rushing around and we don't have a lot of autonomy and we don't necessarily get some of the same focus from partners. And one thing that BDSM is going to get is the, full attention of your partner, ideally, because you're working with something a little bit more complex. So at the very least, they have to pay attention to the knots or the thing they're hitting you with.
And you're pretty advanced, right? You do all the knots and do everything. And I'm very basic. I like bondage tape.
Bondage tape is great.
Dude,
She's
love bondage.
obsessed with it.
I'm obsessed with bondage tape. You should buy it at Good Vibes. Go to goodvibes.com. Buy bondage tape. It's
really.
How do you explain it? It's just, it looks like electrical tape, but it's tape that sticks to itself and you can put over your eyes and over your eyelashes. It doesn't rip anything.
Or your hair. No, that's why
Your
I
hair.
really love it, because there's something really sexy about the spontaneity of a moment. If you want to do bondage, sometimes it's hard to remember all the technique and things like that. But bondage tape, you can just go ahead
do
and
whatever. You can be like
burglar, and just wrap it around someone's head. Don't worry about their hair. It's going to be fine.
I've been trying to get Menace to use it for years, but
secure.
No, I'm good.
He won't do it. He's good
I'll
with
get
that.
robbed.
So I was going to ask you, what about your website? What is that all about? Meet the Mayhems.
Meet the Mayhems is,
Mayhems.
I think it's a pretty core website. And I wanted to play with the idea that most people see a couple, especially a couple named Maggie and Ned. I mean, we sound like we're 90 and we live in a Florida retirement community. But we don't have sexy names. We're Maggie and Ned. And we're both cisgender. We are in a heterosexual pairing. But when you peel that back, when you get to know us, you'll actually start to realize that our sexuality is much more complex. It's not heterosexist. We really want to challenge those tropes and those norms and show things like the fact that, we're very into pegging. But not necessarily in the angry dominatrix, this is because you've been a bad boy, but this is
because it feels good.
Because it feels good. And, especially when I can lay back and he'll jump up on top of me and be like boy on top of the strap on. And that is always so sexy.
That's
so sexy.
hot. I know. We talk about pegging a lot on the show.
I think it's just really been taking off lately. I mean,
feel
in
like
the
it's so in the mainstream right now, right? Pegging men being anally penetrated by a dildo or whatever. But I feel like, and Ben thinks I'm obsessed with it. Or
You
all the
are.
time.
You bring it up all the time.
I do. I can't help it.
You want to peg somebody.
I've never pegged anybody.
Really?
I know. Sex with Emily's never pegged anybody.
You want to peg somebody so bad.
Right now, turn around.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, that just so makes me want to like bring someone like a good experienced
I know,
bottom.
right? Do you have anyone I could borrow for my trial pegging?
Ned.
Your boyfriend. Perfect. I love it. What do you think? Just try it out with Ned?
If you want to, you bring it up enough. It seems like you want to do it.
I just think that every guy should. What if? Because my whole thing is that like, what if it's this amazing thing that every man in the world could be feeling right now, and it's a sensation that they've never had, and they could, and it could be amazing, and you die and you never felt it.
Is there anything on the other side of it, like that you're receiving? I mean, you know, I know you get a feeling of joy doing this for your partner, but is the device rigged where you're receiving, like, you know, like a double-sided dildo type thing, you know?
Sometimes we've done that. I think what I find really enjoyable is the fact that if you have a broad base on the dildo, something I like a big circular shape that sits over my entire kind of pelvis. And when I get that pressure from the thrusting, it's getting into the top leg of my clitoris, since we know that the clitoris isn't just like that little tiny P shape that you see. It's actually like this Mercedes-Benz symbol.
Right.
You know, because it is. Like
your pelvis,
it's like
right?
a Benzie
Pelvic
down
muscles,
there.
exactly.
And so when I get the external stimulation from the thrusting, I have a great time. I can absolutely get off from that.
Oh, that's amazing.
But-
See, Menace, she's getting off. He's getting off. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Good. I learned something today.
You
He
get
did
a
learn
good-
something today. He doesn't get it when whatever. We won't get into that. So, what would you say is like the craziest thing that you've experienced lately about like how have you pushed yourself lately? Anything sexually you've done that you hadn't done? Because I feel like you've done a lot.
You know, I've done a lot, but it's never about the big complexity of the act. Because I
Right.
can sit there and say, yeah, I've been strung up by my ankles and cattle prodded. Been there, done that, yeah, seen that, you know.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't done
Just
that,
kidding.
you know. I haven't been anally fisted, but I've done scenes where I've gotten my entire fist inside somebody
Nice.
into the ass, and that's
Did you
always been
find
pretty
anything
cool.
in there, like a watch?
No, thank God.
Good.
I'm not ready to find anything there yet, actually. My big goal is everyone has a good time, and I leave empty-handed.
Yeah.
But
great.
There could be something there.
It could be something there.
Yeah.
You never know
Something
what
there.
someone loses. You know, some jelly beans or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought
There was
about
a
that.
scene in the new Dictator where he loses his cell phone in there. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was actually like a story. Someone had to go to a hospital to get a phone removed.
Are you
because
serious?
Someone was using it for the vibrate function.
Oh,
and
Oh
you
my
know,
God! Just buy a vibrator,
just-
people.
Yeah.
buy a remote vibrator. God, but the most like interesting sexual thing lately, getting engaged.
Congratulations! Oh my God, that is really interesting. Do you have a
So-
ring and everything?
You know, actually, I need to get it resized, but the ring that I'm wearing it's missing a couple of diamonds. It is the ring that my grandfather designed for my grandmother in
nice.
the
Oh,
1920s.
that's so sweet. I love that.
And I didn't need to bring any more gold and especially diamonds into the world.
Yeah.
And so right now it's sitting on my index
I
finger.
love
but
that it's like from family and.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't really, you know, I'm not necessarily as big on the symbols. A lot of people are really into symbols. And especially when I come from a community where a collar
Right.
is a very big sign of commitment. And I'm
Right.
just so bad at keeping jewelry on myself. Like, you know,
You
and
lose it, and I lose all my jewelry.
I lose jewelry all the time. I don't want to lose this one though, but yeah,
no,
no.
you can't.
So I feel
Congratulations, that's so exciting. So I have a question for you. So you guys are polyamorous then, or however, I know you probably don't even like
Yeah, we're actually
that.
speaking. Oh my God, this like talk about being crazy. You know, I did porn this morning, radio today. I'm doing more porn tomorrow. Then I'm doing a live performance. I'm going to be sledging concrete, nearly nude, if not completely nude. And then I'm going to be speaking at the Open SF conference on polyamory
Okay.
with my partner's family.
Oh my God, his
What?
family, like mom, dad?
Yeah, well, his dad and his dad's secondary partner.
Oh my God. Oh,
What?
because his dad's polyamorous as well.
My partner is second generation poly.
oh my
What the
God.
F is
Yeah,
this?
that's
you guys
amazing.
need your own reality show.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It
What
was
kind
so
of
much.
things do you think you'll be talking about? Because polyamory is something that I think definitely also is becoming more known, mainstream, not mainstream, but people are just, what kind of things are you going to share, you think? What's the most important things people have to understand about polyamory and
Ooh, I think
the
we
messaging that you're going to think that you're going to deliver?
How to talk about it cross-generationally is one thing I think we're going to be talking about, and the fact that it doesn't mean family ends. I think we think of it as something that, the grown-ups do and is so far removed from family life. And I also kind of want to show that it's another form of a family, and that there is what happens behind closed doors in the bedroom between consenting adults. And then there's also a family structure that polyamory involves, and those are people who are included. And they do have a narrative, and that's something else that's growing. In the Northwest, there's actually a kind of a summer camp for poly families, and they have specific activities for the kids to go that are totally age appropriate. There's no kinky sex happening.
Pegging.
Yeah, no, not
at summer camp.
Not at summer camp, but
no pegging at summer camp.
To give kids a chance to meet other kids, because my partner, grew up and he was always kind of embarrassed to bring people home to his crazy poly family.
I'm sure. Where did he grow up?
He grew up outside of Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, that would be tough. That would be tough to explain, especially as a kid. So what kind of issues do you guys have? I would think, of course, it's not always smooth sailing just because you decide that you're going to be polyamorous. How about jealousy? That's the biggest issue that comes up for a lot of couples.
That didn't come in my factory default model.
No? You just don't get jealous?
To me, I would consider him having sex with somebody else like him going out to the bar and having a drink with somebody else, as long as it's not interrupting the work that we need to get done as a couple.
Right.
But that's actually just being disrespectful, I think, with your partner's time. But aside from the sex and the romance, I've always been just kind of that geeky. I think it's just, it flies over my head, and I get really fixated on things that I build and do. One of my big goals, I've been a big fan of Masters and Johnson, and they did the orgasm chart. And I sat down and thought, hey, technology is so much better. Why haven't we made another orgasm detector? So Ned and I built the PSIgasm, and that stands for pounds per square inch, and it is wireless, it is real time, and it has 12 sensors that detect the quantitative signs of sexual arousal and orgasm.
Oh my God, you invented it?
Yeah, we built it.
That's amazing.
And we made it as open source as possible. It's programmed on Arduino, and we just actually want to show people how to do circuit board type of work.
So you can tell if someone's having an orgasm?
It's like a sexual lie detector test. It's got everything a lie detector test has.
What?
And
you
then
can tell if a woman's faking.
Yeah, I've taken a picture of my orgasm. We have footage of it up on.
Oh my God, we have to check that out.
Did we get in DeLorean and go into the future of sex?
I know,
right
I
now,
love it. Well, I was going to ask you about science and sex and how you think.
I told you I was a sex hacker.
Yeah, you really are. That's amazing.
That's crazy.
I'm afraid what happens when that gets out, because seriously, all these men are going to be shocked that she's never had an orgasm.
Well, and it's great to actually use it on a man, because when you're looking at the pelvic floor, we get to look at muscles inside a guy. And so what we get to see is that the male and the female orgasm aren't from two different worlds as much as we thought. They look very similar. They do very similar things. And especially when you're looking at the pounds per square inch, we put in, I'm trying to remember if we put in 2 or 3 photoplasmagraphs, but a photoplasmography is going to be looking at the way the blood is flowing into the genital region. And so if we put a photoplasmograph up towards the back, the middle, and the front, we can actually see where the blood is congesting. So that would be like a hard-on. That would be like a clitoris starting to become erect. That's all that kind of tissue. And
that is so cool. And you can see you guys built it?
We built it.
In between having sex and whatever, doing all your stuff,
we're just kind of geeky.
Do it. That is so
just
geeky
when I'm not going out to the bars.
Menace is building things too. He's building a sex toy called the dump truck.
The dump truck.
He's not really, but
it's just a joke.
It's just one of his jokes.
In Japan, the scientists are working very hard on it.
Okay,
we're having fire issues, catching on fire and stuff. But.
That's what Hitachis do too.
They catch on fire?
Don't they plug in the wall, right?
Yeah.
They plug in the wall. No, that's a little known trick. Yeah, if you Hitachi they overheat so badly sometimes, and so they have been known to spontaneously combust.
Oh my God, I don't want to burn off my clitoris. I better be careful.
Well, you have the rock box now.
Oh my God, do you know about the rock box?
No.
It's the strongest vibrator, the most powerful vibrator. I should give it to you because I'm afraid of it. It looks like a power tool. Literally looks like that. I should bring it in and just show it.
You talk about it all the time. So
the rock box. I saw it. I went to the sex toy show and they showed it there, and it's got this. It plugs into the wall with like one of those thick cords, and it has like tongue. You can put different inserts in, but one of them is like a tongue that goes around, and it's like more powerful than the Hitachi, they say.
Wow.
Yeah, the rock box. You gotta check. It just came out. Like I think it's just in stores now.
That's really cool.
And it's on my top shelf in my house, and I haven't tried it yet. I'm afraid my vagina is gonna go flying across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you could blow out your vagina.
I could blow out a vagina. Okay, well, thank you so much, Maggie.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome having. So your website again. Let's tell people if they want to check out all your amazing stuff you're doing.
You know, I'm all over the web. So you can find my blog at missmaggiemayhem.com, MISSMAGGIEMAYHEM.com. You can find my porn with my partner at meetthemayhems.com, MEETTHEMAYHEMS.com. And from there, you're going to find links to our Twitter accounts, to our Tumblr, to our YouTube. We're up to all kinds of weird, geeky stuff.
Awesome. I can't wait to keep checking you out. It's so nice to meet you. And we're going to have all that info on our website, too. Sex with Emily. Menace, any final words from you, from the Peanut Gallery?
We are here at the Stitcher Studios in San Francisco, California. Stitcher is an app that you can download for your smartphone. It's totally free, STITCHER. All you do after you download it, you just search Sex with Emily, and you can take the show on the go.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.